As we age, it's natural to notice shifts in how others treat us, and sometimes these changes can be confusing. Have you ever felt like certain relationships are becoming strained, despite your best efforts? Aging brings with it wisdom and life experiences, but it can also lead to unexpected dynamics in how people perceive and interact with you. In this video, we're diving into 9 hidden reasons why others might secretly harbor negative feelings toward you as you grow older. Understanding these underlying factors can be eye-opening and empowering, helping you navigate social interactions with grace. Stick with us till the end for practical strategies to strengthen relationships and embrace your authentic self. 1. Envy and jealousy. As the years unfold and you reflect on the life you've carefully and painstakingly built, your cherished relationships, hard-fought achievements, and the wisdom carved from a lifetime of experiences, you might notice a shadow creeping in. Envy. This envy often emerges not from strangers, but from those closest to you, an unspoken tension that hides behind casual words or veiled expressions. It may appear in dismissive remarks, an inexplicable coldness, or a reluctance to acknowledge the immense value you bring to the world. This envy is rarely about you, though it can feel deeply personal. Reasons for envy. 1. More often, it stems from the silent wounds or unrealized dreams of others. For instance, your financial stability, perhaps earned through years of sacrifice and careful planning, might remind someone of their ongoing struggles. The warmth of your enduring marriage or the closeness of your family could inadvertently amplify another's loneliness or regret over fractured relationships. Even your quiet self-assurance, the confidence you've earned by weathering storms and emerging stronger, can shine a harsh light on the self-doubt others continue to wrestle with. Though you bear no responsibility for their feelings, the sting of their envy can cut deeply, particularly when it comes from those you hold dear. It's a bitter irony that your victories, achieved through toil and resilience, might evoke resentment rather than admiration. Why this happens. 2. Their envy is not your doing, but it may still wound you. Yet here lies your strength. The wisdom cultivated over decades equips you to meet this challenge with grace and poise. You've learned, perhaps the hard way, that you cannot shrink yourself to ease another's discomfort. Dimming your light doesn't brighten their path. It only dishonors the incredible journey that brought you to where you stand. How to respond. 3. Instead, respond with compassion, understanding that their envy reflects their inner struggles, not their shortcomings. Acknowledge their pain without absorbing it, and let your kindness be a balm without letting their negativity take root in your heart. As the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius reminds us, we cannot control the emotions or actions of others, but we can master our own. Their envy is beyond your influence, but your response is entirely yours to shape. Celebrate your milestones unapologetically to honor your triumphs without hesitation. Each accomplishment is a testament to your perseverance, your character, and your refusal to give up, even when the odds were stacked against you. These victories are sacred. They deserve to be cherished, not hidden away. Seek the company of those who truly see you, who celebrate your successes as if they were their own. Surround yourself with friends, family, and kindred spirits who find joy in your joy and who uplift you without agenda or comparison. These relationships are treasures that shield you from the corrosive effects of envy and remind you of what matters most: genuine connection and shared happiness. 2. Misunderstandings and ineffective communication. As you navigate the journey of aging, one of the most heart-wrenching challenges can be the growing chasm of misunderstanding and ineffective communication between you and younger generations. Though your intentions may be rooted in kindness and wisdom, they often risk being lost in translation, leaving you feeling sidelined, and those you care about feeling defensive or even judged. Reasons for miscommunication. 1. This disconnect isn't just about words, it's about worlds. The world you grew up in likely valued clarity, directness, and a no-nonsense approach to life's challenges. Back then, advice was often given as a means of guidance, a way to share hard-earned lessons. However, today's younger generations, shaped by a vastly different social and cultural landscape, may interpret the same straightforward advice as criticism, insensitivity, or an inability to adapt. What you see as concern, they might perceive as control. What you offer as wisdom, they may hear as unwelcome judgment. Why this happens? 2. These seemingly minor misunderstandings can compound, creating walls where bridges should stand. Loved ones might begin to shy away from meaningful conversations, fearing they'll be dismissed or misunderstood. You, in turn, may retreat into silence, nursing the quiet ache of disconnection and wondering where it all went wrong. How to improve communication? 3. There is hope. True connection can be restored even after years of miscommunication. The secret lies in the twin pillars of active listening and empathy. When conversations arise, try to approach them with genuine curiosity. Replace advice with thoughtful questions that invite the other person to share their world with you. A simple, heartfelt phrase like, "I'd love to hear more about how you see this," works wonders, signaling that you care deeply about their perspective, even if it differs from your own. This small shift can dissolve defensiveness, replacing it with mutual respect and openness. And when your words are misunderstood, because misunderstandings will happen, don't shy away from addressing them with grace. A gentle clarification can smooth over potential hurt feelings, showing your willingness to meet them halfway. Share your own emotions calmly and honestly. These conversations aren't battles to win or lose. They are opportunities to deepen your understanding of one another. 3. Differences in fundamental values and beliefs. As the years pass, the values and beliefs that define who you are become deeply rooted, shaped by a lifetime of experiences, struggles, and triumphs. These convictions, whether centered on the importance of work, the sanctity of family, the power of faith, or the structure of societal roles, are not merely opinions. They are the essence of your identity. However, in today's whirlwind of societal and cultural transformation, younger generations may embrace vastly different beliefs. Reasons for the clash of values. 1. You may hold steadfast to principles such as hard work, discipline, and respect for tradition, values that carried you through life's challenges and built the foundation of your world. Yet younger generations often prioritize flexibility, creativity, and the celebration of individualism. A simple conversation about work ethic, for instance, might spark frustration and misunderstanding. When they describe your commitment to structure as rigid or outdated, it may sting deeply. Conversely, when you view their approach as impulsive or impractical, it may wound their sense of worth. Diverging views on parenting, relationships, or social issues can become battlegrounds where emotions run high. Why this happens? 2. The core of these struggles lies an undeniable truth. Our values are born from the lives we've lived. You see the world through the lens of decades, rich with lessons, triumphs, and sacrifices. They see it through the eyes of a different era, one filled with new challenges, opportunities, and uncertainties. How to navigate differences. 3. Acknowledging this doesn't mean compromising your beliefs. It means recognizing that their values, though different, are a reflection of their journey, just as yours are of yours. Navigating these differences requires courage, patience, and a willingness to approach conversations with curiosity rather than judgment. Instead of debating whose perspective is right, ask them to share their story. Ask them what events, experiences, or influences shaped their beliefs. Listen with empathy, not with the intent to rebut. In turn, share your own stories, those defining moments that forged your values. Let them see your world through your eyes, not as a set of rules, but as a legacy shaped by your lived reality. The influence of rumors and gossip. In the intricate web of social dynamics that often surrounds us in later years, whether in a neighborhood, a retirement community, or among extended family, rumors and gossip take on a life of their own, spreading with a speed and tenacity that can feel overwhelming. These whispered tales, frequently embellished with half-truths or outright falsehoods, have the power to cast shadows over your reputation and strain even the most cherished relationships. Reasons for gossip. 1. Rumors and gossip are often born from the insecurities, dissatisfaction, or idleness of others. When individuals lack fulfillment in their own lives, they may fixate on the lives of those around them, twisting facts and fabricating stories to inject excitement into their days or to elevate their sense of significance. For you, this could manifest as whispers about your past decisions, speculative judgments about your financial standing, or unwarranted scrutiny of your relationships. Why this happens. 2. The emotional toll of gossip can be both deep and lingering. It erodes trust, driving wedges between you and the people you hold dear. It can leave you feeling isolated, misunderstood, and painfully aware of the fragility of human connections. How to respond to gossip. 3. Overcoming the damage caused by gossip demands resilience and a deliberate, measured approach. First and foremost, anchor yourself in your truth and your values. Authenticity is your most potent shield against the distortions others create over time. Resist the urge to engage in counter-gossip or defensiveness. Instead, choose to respond with calm dignity. If a particularly damaging rumor reaches your ears, consider addressing it directly but thoughtfully with an honest statement. I've heard this being said, and I'd like to clarify the truth behind it. Not every rumor merits a response, though. Choose your battles wisely, prioritizing your peace over the need to correct every falsehood. Ultimately, remember that the act of spreading gossip reflects far more about the person doing so than about the subject of their chatter. Through it all, hold steadfast to your integrity. Each time you rise above the noise of gossip, you demonstrate the strength and depth of your character. Your value is not dictated by the words of others, but by the unwavering truth of who you are. 5. Personal insecurities and projection. One of the most profound and quietly devastating reasons others may harbor resentment toward you stems from their deeply rooted insecurities. These feelings often lurk beneath the surface, unspoken yet pervasive, influencing their behavior in ways they may not fully understand. People frequently project their fears, self-doubts, and lingering feelings of inadequacy onto those around them. When they see qualities in you that they admire but feel they lack, or when they witness struggles you've overcome that they're still grappling with, it can trigger an uncomfortable sense of self-reflection, often marked by resentment or even hostility. This dynamic becomes even more pronounced as the years pass. Your life inevitably becomes a visible benchmark, whether you intend it to or not. For example, if you've prioritized and maintained good health, those battling their physical challenges might feel a twinge of envy or frustration. Similarly, if you've achieved financial security or cultivated deep, loving family relationships, it might unintentionally highlight the areas where others perceive they have fallen short. Your success, whether large or small, can act as an unyielding mirror reflecting their struggles, regrets, or unfulfilled dreams. Projection also intertwines with the universal fears surrounding aging. As time advances, insecurities about growing older, about relevance, physical decline, or unaccomplished goals become a silent yet powerful force. For some, your mere presence may evoke these fears, leading them to unfairly direct their frustrations or anxieties toward you. You may represent something they long for, or a reminder of what they feel is slipping away, making you an unintended target of their inner turmoil. Understanding this complex dynamic can be a powerful tool for emotional resilience. When someone lashes out, withdraws, or seems distant, pausing to consider that their behavior stems from their internal battles can help you respond with empathy rather than hurt. This recognition doesn't mean condoning or tolerating harmful behavior, but it can offer a perspective that prevents you from taking their actions personally. Still, it's crucial to honor your boundaries. If someone's insecurities and projections manifest as persistent negativity or hostility, you have every right to protect your emotional well-being. Distancing yourself from toxic energy isn't selfish. It's an act of self-preservation. Remind yourself of the journey you've traveled. You've faced challenges, made sacrifices, and grown into the person you are today. Their resentment, whether subtle or overt, is not a condemnation of your character, but a reflection of their unhealed wounds. By staying grounded in this understanding, you protect your peace while continuing to focus on the life you've built. And as you move forward, you reinforce a truth that transcends their projections. You are not responsible for someone else's discomfort with your light. Keep shining it anyway. 6. Lack of empathy and understanding. As we age, a profound and often unexpected pain emerges, the sense that the world is losing its empathy. This is not just a fleeting discomfort. It's a deep wound carved by the indifference or misunderstanding of those who fail to see the richness of our lived experiences. Aging brings unique challenges, both emotional and physical, that require patience and compassion to navigate. Yet many people, whether out of ignorance, impatience, or preoccupation, fall short of offering the understanding we so desperately crave. The sting of this lack of empathy is particularly sharp when the small, everyday realities of growing older are misjudged. If your steps are slower or your decisions more deliberate, they may be interpreted as hesitation or inefficiency, rather than the careful adjustments required to adapt to life's natural rhythms. When family members dismiss your wisdom as irrelevant or outdated, it doesn't just sting. It cuts deeply, undermining the value of decades of hard-earned experience. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Consider the quiet heartbreak of being misinterpreted by those you love. Your grandchildren may not understand why you need to sit and rest after a few minutes of play. Your children, lost in the flurry of their own busy lives, may dismiss your struggles to adapt to new technologies or changing social norms as stubbornness, not recognizing the courage it takes to keep learning at every stage of life. These moments of dismissal might not be rooted in cruelty, but in thoughtless haste that blinds others to the emotional weight their actions carry. This lack of empathy often arises from a failure to walk in your shoes and to imagine the challenges you face. Not just the visible ones like mobility or health, but the invisible battles of loneliness or maintaining a sense of purpose in a world that often prioritizes youth. The hurt becomes a quiet ache when younger people immersed in their fast-paced lives fail to see how their casual words or actions might feel dismissive. They may trivialize the effort it takes to maintain your health, dismiss the emotional toll of losing peers, or underestimate the courage it takes to keep moving forward when so much has changed. This emotional distance can be devastating. It builds walls where there should be bridges, leaving you feeling unseen, undervalued, and isolated. Strained relationships can follow as the lack of understanding widens the gap between your reality and the assumptions others make about you. But amidst this pain, there is hope. Building empathy begins with courageous communication. Opening up about your experiences calmly and without defensiveness can transform misunderstandings into moments of connection. When faced with impatience, take a breath and explain, "I appreciate your support, but I want you to understand why this takes longer for me now." A simple truth spoken with sincerity can soften hearts and pave the way for greater understanding. Yet, it's equally important to acknowledge that not everyone will meet your efforts with kindness or empathy, and that's okay. Protecting your emotional well-being sometimes means setting firm boundaries with those who refuse to respect your journey. Focus instead on nurturing relationships with those who truly see you, those who value your insights. Listen without judgment, and seek to connect with the person you are today, not the person they assume you should be. Empathy is a two-way street, and by modeling it in your actions, you can inspire it in others. Approach misunderstandings with patience and kindness, and you may find that even the hardest hearts can be softened by your example. In doing so, you create the possibility for relationships that are deeper, richer, and more meaningful. 7. Competition or rivalry. Competition doesn't disappear with age. It evolves, weaving its way into the fabric of social interactions, family dynamics, and even lifelong friendships. For many, the need to measure their worth against others persists, shifting focus to achievements, health, relationships, or lifestyle choices. What was once overt rivalry may now manifest as subtle, unspoken comparisons, an undercurrent of jealousy or quiet resentment. These feelings, though often unexpressed, can cut deeply, especially when someone perceives your life as more stable, successful, or fulfilling than their own. Consider the poignant scenario of a sibling quietly envying the frequency of your children's visits or the financial stability you've achieved after years of hard work. The warmth of family gatherings can be overshadowed by their internal struggle to accept what feels like a shortcoming. Similarly, an old friend, once vibrant and active, may find themselves comparing their declining health to your ability to still hike or travel. At its core, this rivalry often stems from deep insecurities, wounds that carry through life and resurface when someone feels they are falling short. For those who look at your life and see success, the gap between your reality and their perceived achievements can trigger an unsettling mix of admiration and bitterness. They might not voice these feelings, but their quiet comparisons can create an emotional rift. Long-standing rivalries, particularly those forged in childhood, can also intensify with age. Decades-old sibling tensions may reignite, driven by a lifetime of comparison. Navigating these delicate dynamics requires emotional intelligence and grace. On one hand, you have every right to celebrate your accomplishments and live authentically, basking in the joy you've worked so hard to create. On the other hand, a touch of humility can go a long way in softening the impact of these unspoken rivalries. When rivalry persists, it's crucial to remember that these comparisons reflect the other person's internal struggles rather than your worth. You are not responsible for their insecurities or their perception of your success. Refusing to engage in their silent contest frees you from the weight of their expectations. 8. The influence of social expectations. Society weaves a web of rigid expectations around aging, dictating how older adults should behave, live, and even think. These unspoken rules, often handed down over generations, can feel suffocating for those yearning to break free. When you defy these norms by daring to explore new passions, voicing bold opinions, or making unconventional choices, you might find yourself met with subtle resentment or overt disapproval. This resistance doesn't stem from malice, but discomfort. Your actions shine a light on the fragile constructs that others have grown accustomed to accepting without question. The resentment you sense often reveals more about others than it does about you. Your decision to step into authenticity and embrace life fully can serve as a mirror reflecting the compromises and unfulfilled dreams they've buried beneath the weight of societal expectations. 9. The lack of recognition. Few things cut as deeply as the feeling of being invisible. Pouring your heart, time, and energy into others only to feel as though your contributions have vanished into the shadows of their lives. As the years pass, the absence of recognition can become a quiet but powerful ache, whispering questions of self-worth and value into your mind. Being overlooked can wound deeply, but it doesn't define you. Your worth is not dependent on anyone's ability to see it. Your story, contributions, and spirit endure. By finding fulfillment in your own heart and sharing your truth with courage, you can transcend the ache of being unrecognized and rediscover the joy of simply being seen by yourself and those who truly matter.